WNW.
What did you think about your team's furious fourth quarter that helped you officially arrive in the postseason?
Oh, it was amazing. What a performance. I think we lost the first few minutes of the fourth quarter 12-2 and took a timeout, and we felt like we had enough time, but we didn't have much momentum. And I was just amazed by the skill of Clay and Jordan, the emotion and passion from Draymond, and then the methodical defense and energy from Andrew and Otto. And that group down the stretch was great. Gary as well. So unbelievable performance down the stretch from our guys. I don't know what else to say.
You obviously needed a ton of threes in that fourth to climb back. How much of a specific strategy was it really to not necessarily go at Gobert, but he was in drop coverage, and it felt like you guys got a ton of threes just kind of walking into it when he was backed up? Yeah,
we executed a lot better in the second half. I thought there was more urgency to our cuts and our DHOs and the speed of our ball screens. I thought it was all much better in the second half. But sometimes you watch the tape and you go, the ball just went in, too. But I did feel like we kind of broke the dam there at one point, and that gave us a lot of energy, and we got rolling.
From Clay's perspective, he's talked about forcing shots. It felt like he was tonight, but it looked different. From your eyes, what was the difference between the Clay we saw tonight and the one we've seen when he's scuffling a bit?
I thought early on, I thought he was a little impatient. I didn't think the game started that well for him. But I thought he got into a groove with a few of his mid-range shots and found a little rhythm in both halves. And then, we've seen it a million times. If Clay just sees the ball go through the hoop a couple of times, he can make the bad ones too. So I didn't think this was like a dramatic improvement in terms of shot selection. But I think the fact that mid-range shot was there, with Gobert down in a drop, allowed Clay to get to the foul line area, pull up for a few mid-rangers. He probably made 4 or 5, I'm guessing, during the game, and that allowed him to get into rhythm. So, and then he started making the impossible ones. So, but we know he's capable.
You're always going to want twos, I know, but the way this broke loose with the threes, and you obviously have Steph coming back, is this the way you think you're going to play in the playoffs?
In terms of
being pretty three dominant, yeah.
Oh yeah, and we've been that way all year. Really, we're in the top. I think we average 40 threes a game. We're in the top 3 or 4 in the league in attempts. When Steph gets back, we're going to take even more, obviously. The biggest thing is when we defend and get stops, then we can get out and run, and the flow of the game helps our three-point shooting and helps us get some in transition and attack before the defense can get set up. Felt like in the first half we were just taking the ball out of the net or giving it to them. I think we had 10 or 11 turnovers in the first half and only maybe 1 in the second. So that made a huge difference.
We've talked a bit about how much you guys have or have not been monitoring the standings, but were you guys aware of just how important and big this game was in terms of seeding?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're well aware.
Topic of conversation?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it a whole lot as a team, but the guys know, and now I know they were talking amongst themselves. I didn't sort of present it like, hey, this is the biggest game of the year. I said it to the coaching staff, and I think Steph said it to a couple of guys. But the focus was just on our game plan and our execution. And the good thing is, you play a game like that, and you feel the pressure being down, and you respond. That's a good memory for when you're in the playoffs in a similar situation.
The other night was obviously a good sign for Draymond. Looked like I think you said he took a step forward tonight. I mean, I think you rode him the last 10 or so minutes against Gobert. he was really kind of the key holding up the defense and doing the DHO. What did you just see in that match of him and Gobert in the last 10 minutes or so?
I just saw incredible passion and competition from Draymond. You know, when if you don't know, you know, who Draymond is, and you ask him, you know, you ask any of his teammates or coaches, how do you describe him as a player? The first thing you just say is competitive and passionate. All the other stuff. You know, he's a great defender. He's a passer. He's a DHO guy. He reads the game. But the main thing with Draymond is that he's just a winner. He's been a winner his entire life. High school, college, NBA, he just wins. And, you know, he's like the rising tide that lifts all ships. I mean, it's true. Like when he's out there, his emotion, his energy, his passion, and his brain, it lifts up our entire team.
Andrew Wiggins was plus 26, 7 for 10, really efficient, obviously, tonight. What stood out to you most, both sides of the ball?
I think when our team makes sense, Andrew gets comfortable. You know, the last 6 weeks, you know, he's been, I think, you know, maybe a focal point in terms of his struggles, our struggles. But our team has been scattered over the last 6 weeks with the injuries, the absences, shifting lineups, playing different guys in different roles. Andrew is best suited to play a specific role and give us 35 minutes, 33 minutes of on-ball defense and be a support offensive player like he was tonight, you know, knocking down threes, getting some layups in transition and in the half court. He was a plus 26 tonight. I mean, he's just rock solid. And I think that's the biggest thing. When we're right, I think Andrew's right. He fits into what we're trying to do.
Clay and Jordan had a big hug after this game. What do you think about the chemistry they're finding together, and even their happiness in each other's performances?
Well, they should be happy for each other. They were both brilliant. I mean, Jordan, what he's done over the last month or so is incredible. The scoring binge he's been on, the number of scoring opportunities he's creating in pick and roll, and just with his dribble penetration. He's taken on just a huge burden with Steph out, and he hasn't even blinked. Jordan's quite a story, and, you know, we all know what Clay has been through and the frustration since he's been back. He wants it so badly, and, you know, Raymond pointed out he's had 4 games with 33 or more points, so it's not like he hasn't produced. It just hasn't been as consistent as he would like. But I will maintain that's coming with time. But I'm glad they were happy for each other. They should have been. They were 2 huge keys in the win.
A big-time win at that, and the Utah Jazz, another brutal loss for them this season. Just the other day,